I'm Juha Berghäll, CEO and one of the founders at ONEiO. What excites me the most we are doing at ONEiO is, of course, that we are changing the whole industry when it comes to integrations and managing them. What is happening in the IT service delivery space right now, what we see, is that first of all, end customers are more demanding. They expect more with less, meaning less costs, more services, better SLAs, all these things. At the same time, that leads into this sort of a multi-sourcing, best-of-breed providers. There's no outsourcing at the moment where one vendor is delivering everything, specifically in the larger enterprise space. Also, new service providers emerge, like SecOps is a really trendy at the moment, complex topic and really hard to grasp. So there is a kind of these new kind of service providers emerging. The biggest pain points these organizations face when they deliver and manage IT services is, of course, the enterprise side, the buyer, the guys who are buying these services, to manage the complexity of sort of the whole supply chain and ecosystem of services. And at the same time, on the delivery side, you have to, as said, do more with less, get rid of manual work, deliver exceptional outcome to stand out on the market. So the customer demands and requirements are increasingly harder than they were before. The core problem when it comes to integrations and how they're traditionally delivered and managed is, of course, it's really sort of old-fashioned, project-based, requires several different competencies to deliver them. Typically, you would need 4 different kind of personas or competencies when you have it, so that you try to deliver something. You need somebody who understands the actual technology, somebody maybe from understanding the interfaces, how the systems work, then somebody who can run and have the knowledge how to run integration project, and then somebody who understands the use case. So that being said, these are really scarce resource at the moment, and the whole industry is struggling of finding the best talent. So how companies retain this talent and how it's used to deliver what is core business and more like the important for the business. Well, the reason why integrations are such a bottleneck is, of course, that the demand is it's huge. So it's humanly impossible to deliver amount of integrations that are needed and in time and sort of with the cost that companies can afford. Time is definitely something that you never get back. If you lose it, you might lose sort of the competition on the market, go-to-market timings, all these things. And one thing that is quite often neglected is that the integrations are super important for digitalization, because you have to somehow combine legacy and modern tools and applications. So that's sort of, when you combine that with the traditional approach, that's where you have your bottleneck. What is integration ops and how it's different from traditional integration approach is, of course, that it's taking into consideration the whole life cycle of integration. So it's traditionally integration is like project based. So it focuses only on delivering the integration, but nobody knows how to run the integration. So there is no model. So you have to build operations, processes, tools around how to operate integrations. And now integration ops as a concept or model takes into account all these things to manage the whole life cycle of an integration, not just delivering it. How does the integration ops work in practice? There are 4 stages in that. Planning, where you plan what are you trying to do, you plan the outcomes. Then you have the implementation phase, then you have the operate phase, and then monitoring phase. And these all are going into this kind of a circle as it would be in DevOps. It's a lifecycle management model. And these are the key stages. Of course, every stage have their own sort of tasks and responsibilities underneath, but that's sort of the high level. Why integration ops approach is relevant right now is, of course, the market situation, the complexities of IT services delivery, but also the responsibilities when it comes to who actually owns this problem or topic. And integration ops, as it's a whole lifecycle management model, it defines different responsibilities, who is doing what in which stages, end to end, not just delivery or just operations. It combines these two, and it delivers or enables companies to really focus on their core business by having a partner or somebody who runs this for them as it would be their own. What kind of business impact integration ops delivers? Of course, it enables companies to focus on their core business. It enables IT professionals to work on something more meaningful, because in our space, in IT services, it's nobody's core business to deliver and manage integrations. So it brings the model and capability for them to actually do what they aim to do, which is typically something else. For instance, exceptional customer value, delivering their services for the end customers. And then on the other side, as it would be, it's a model and capability which is clearly defined. So it's much more easier for companies to acquire integration capability than before, because you don't go into this either or. Somebody delivers a project and then you try to figure out who operates that. How does the integration ops changes the game, the whole IT services ecosystem? Well, the first thing is, of course, that it sort of enables companies to collaborate much more easier with their own terms, meaning tools and processes can be developed independently. It also clearly defines the responsibilities. So who is doing what, who is responsible of different stages in the integration delivery models, which is always a little bit tricky when it comes to B2B, external companies, external teams, all these things. But it also democratizes the whole thing, because customers can easily onboard, offboard suppliers. They are not sort of, the vendor locking is not that big anymore. They get to choose the best suppliers because they have their own way, standardized way to integrate with them. Not only technically, but also from the sort of delivery model wise. Well, how does the future look like in a few years from now? With integration ops model, we have much more happier IT professionals, because the roles and responsibilities are clear. They can focus on more meaningful work. They deliver more value. Integrations are becoming they are considered as a critical piece in the puzzle of delivering IT services. And it's something that it's understandable as well because of this model. So this is sort of where we are heading, and we are actually already there when it comes to delivering integrations in sort of in standardized, industrialized manner. My message for the decision makers, CIOs, directors in IT services business is that you should really look into your own ways of working. What is your core business? What is the thing that you are trying to deliver your business? And think about integrations also as a kind of critical piece in your puzzle, delivering the services. But at the same time, thinking about the models that you have in place. Do you have the capabilities? Do you have the competencies? And then utilize the model to map those competencies and capabilities into your own business.
Thank you very much for
my pleasure.
being here.
Thank you for having me, Erkka, in your podcast.
It was awesome. It was the best.
Sign up here.